Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Sorry I haven't been posting lately. I'm just gonna start doing hurricanes just during hurricane season. But anyways, here we are at the 2023 hurricane predictions. This is my predictions, and we're gonna talk about a lot of things with the 2023 hurricane season. Is it gonna be a busy one, or is it gonna be a slow one? Before we get started with today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. So what we're going to talk about in today's video, the water temperatures of, because does play a big factor of the hurricane season. If you got too cool waters, nothing can really spin up and start. But if you have warm waters, monster storms can start and spin up and stir up that water. Is it going to be above average season? Well, you're going to have to find out to the end of the video to find out who has more of a chance of getting hit this year, and what are my predictions, and what are some safety precautions you can take this year for hurricane season, because a lot of people die due to hurricanes. So as of right now, this is your water temperature. I wouldn't say water temperature, but this is where a hurricane, not so much of a hurricane, yes, a hurricane, but a subtropical depression can be more favorable to turning into a tropical storm or a hurricane. So you guys can see the dark blue represents 0% of favoritism, and then you guys can see, pardon me, and then you guys can see around the red, dark red is 100% favoritism. So you guys can see right here, this is where we're going to have more of a favoritism area right now, and this is typical for around this year. This is where you start to see some stuff spin up. The MDR does not get busy until really late August, mid-September. And you guys can see we're going to have something to watch. Nothing too big, but in the Gulf of Mexico, so that is good signs that we could probably have a busy hurricane season. So you guys can see that's as of right now. That was just most favorable for hurricanes. So that's as of right now. So you guys can see in the last 100, pretty much with this National Hurricane Center and the National Weather Service, they come together. They get a average out of what 100 storms have been named in the last 100 years for every storm that's in every month. So you guys can see we've had an average between 10 to 29 storms in the month of June. And you guys can see it's more of a Gulf of Mexico slash East Coast Atlantic, not really the Caribbean Sea or the middle of the Gulf or middle of the Atlantic. You guys see that's around June. So June, we normally it's pretty quiet. Now when we start to get July, you guys can see we start to see around this area 30 to 49 storms be named, and in parts of Gulf of Mexico and more of the Caribbean Sea starts to warm up and get active around 10 to 29. This is around June, mid-July, and you guys can go to August. We see a significant big upwards of the water getting stirred up, and like I said, 70 storms have been named in the last 100 years or more, 100 or more, 70 or more. And you guys can see really the whole entire Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea are really just active. Now I know September's not up here. I could not find September for some reason. It was not visible up there. I'm pretty sure it was up there, but I had to search for it for a little bit longer. But September is going to probably be more like this. In fact, September is going to have more probably in right in here, more in the red, and maybe just a tad more red right in here. As you guys can see, as we start to move on to October, the cooling season where fall is, it starts to really get slowing down. No, this is where you get your Matthews. This is where you start to have all the Caribbean Sea, all these storms forming off the Caribbean Sea and moving towards really either going to the Gulf of Mexico or going towards the east coast of the United States. And in November, it's very rare to see a hurricane really, or a tropical storm or tropical depression really start to form up. So that's it. So you guys can see this is our based on the last 100 years, or this is 1944. It used to be 100 years, but on 1944 to 2020, you guys see the 2020 season was a catastrophic damage to the United States. That was really busy. It's actually number two. Yes, it's number two for being the busiest season. And second, number one is the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season. And you guys can see, like I said, June, we start to see, you guys can see tropical storms, and hurricanes and tropical storms, and then the yellow represents hurricanes. So you guys can see more of our hurricanes don't really ramp up until like September 17th, September 15th, you guys see the more average. And after September 17th is when the hurricane season starts to dissipate, and that's when you start to get your average go. Pretty much right now, we're working towards our way to go up. So you guys can see June. Really, we're talking about June 1st. We're right in here, this last tick mark. So you guys can see we're going to start to see a spike up and slowly going to go up. So like I said, just because you're not in July, just because it's low right here, like, oh, well, the chances of a hurricane or subtropical storm forming is very low. Well, there's still a chance of that happening as you move on to July. And then August, you guys can see it starts to ramp up. And then really starting July 1st, around there, you guys can start to see that's where everything starts to amp up, really. So like I said, definitely possible. No, even November is still possible. October, September is definitely possible. So you guys can see, not the best resolution, but this is your table if you guys don't know what to see out of this. So tropical depression, TD, means tropical depression. This is where your 0 to 38 miles an hour. This is where a hurricane or tropical storm is in its phase of forming, working its way to become stronger. Some do not become stronger, some do. And then we go to tropical storm, which is TS, which is tropical storm. You guys can see 39 to 73. Like I said, that's going to be more for the center. We really measure from the center to see the center winds are more not in the outside, to get that, category 1 and category 2. But this is based off in the center, so you guys can see 39 to 73. And then you go to category 1, 74 to 95. This is where you start to get your millibytes, MB, and you guys see 980 to 994, and you guys can see this is what the surge you can expect out of it. Then we go to category 2, 96 to 110, 965 to 979, 68, 6 to 8 feet of surge. Category 3, 111 through 129 miles an hour, and then you start to see surge up to 9 to 12 feet, 130, and then 157, 130 to 157, 920 to 944 MB, 13 to 18 feet of surge, 157 or greater in wind, and you guys see 920 or greater, 18 feet or greater. So this is going to be our 2023 named hurricane seasons of the names. And you guys can see 4 of them have been replaced in the 2017 with Harvey for H, Irma for I, Maria for M, and Nate for N. And if we do pass this by chance, we do go into the Greek alphabet. The only hurricane season to really go in the Greek alphabet is the 2005 and 2020 season. As you guys see, this is my probability. This is not official by the National Weather Service. This is by me. By all means, if you want to check the official one by the National Weather Service or National Hurricane Center, make sure you check out the link down below. So here's my average. You guys can see, starting from Texas to Mexico, you guys see yellow means a good chance or a slight chance. We're just going to say slight chance. Just cancel the good out. I don't know why I put good. But you guys see the chances, by all means, it's still possible. You got Harvey back in 2017, really devastated the area of Houston. And the reason why I say this is going to be a good chance, because you guys normally, around this area, between here to here, you guys normally get hit every year within 2 to 3 hurricanes right in there. Now, the reason why I did put Florida in the yellow is because the backside of Florida never really gets hurricanes. It's very rare to see that happen. It can happen, but for a hurricane to sit there and come off the MDR and do something like that, it's kind of rare. It does something more like that in the MDR. If it's going to hit Florida on the backside, it's going to form in the Gulf of Mexico. So as we move to the Key West, as you guys can see, that we got a greater chance right here, because we always get the greater Key West always gets scraped by a hurricane, or sometimes we can see a hurricane take this route sometimes. And as you guys can see, I will put from Florida all the way up to South Carolina, or no, let's say Georgia, Florida right here to Georgia. I will put you guys in the yellow. That was a mistake by me. I forgot to change that. But you guys can see, because it's kind of rare for a hurricane to take a track like this, just because you do get caught up in that Gulf of jet stream of Gulf. And you guys can see Gulf of Jet Stream, and you guys can see it. Normally, the hurricanes normally take a bend like this. The Outer Banks, you normally, if we do see a hurricane come in, you guys normally get the after Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. You guys, you normally see the behind the around Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York. You guys can see that you normally get your Sandy. So it's rare to see you guys have a hurricane. And this is the MDR. This is where you start to see around August to September, main development region. That's MDR. So going on to the next thing, now how busy will it get it? This is my data. I will put the national hurricanes in the next slide. So you guys can see this is my data. I've analyzed some stuff. For named storms, 12 to 14. Hurricanes, 5 to 7. Major hurricanes, 1 to 2. To put a solid number, for named storms, 13. Hurricanes, 6. Major hurricanes, 1. Because I think it is going to be a below average of hurricane season. So you guys can see the NOAA is forecasting a range 12 to 17 storms, total named storms. Winds of 39 miles or higher. Of those, 5 to 9 could become hurricanes. Winds of 75 miles per hour or higher, including 1 to 4 major hurricanes, category 3, 4, or 5, within winds of 111 miles per hour. The NOAA has a 70% confidence of these ranges. Now, the reason why it is 70% is due to the fact that our last few hurricane seasons have not been very accurate with guessing. We've been pretty bad. So I say if we get this hurricane season nailed on pretty much, we will go to an 80 to 90% chance next year. So, safety precautions, what you guys could do for hurricane season. Hurricane season is not a joke. Don't take it as a joke. Don't go out there. If you guys can, board up windows. Remove anything that's loose in the backyard, in the front yard, anything that can fly away and become a potential dangerous object that can hit someone's car. Board up your windows to prevent damage to your house. Make sure you have a box for that's waterproof for your insurance, your social security cards, your home insurance. Make sure you take pictures right before the hurricane, to make sure, because some insurance will not cover your stuff due to the fact that you didn't take pictures. And be ready to turn off your power, because when it floods, you're talking about a good 5 inches or 5 foot of water in your house. You don't want that electricity flowing through the house and taking a chance. So be prepared. If you start to see water coming in your house, automatically shut off the water. Be prepared, because a lot of people can get electrocuted due to that stuff. Make sure you fill up with water, jugs, gallons, bathtubs, do whatever you want, because you will be surprised how many people die of dehydration. Because say you get trapped you get trapped and you can't leave or anything, so it's like a hard thing for you. You need clean water, and sometimes getting that clean water, even though you can get water and power comes on, sometimes clean water to a city can take months, even years to get back. So like I said, make sure you're checking that. Make sure you check your carbon dioxide detectors. Make sure your batteries are charged up for that. Make sure phones are charged up. And the reason why I say check your carbon dioxide detector is due to the fact that a lot of people like to run generators right next to the house. A better position for your generator is to have your exhaust facing away from your house, away from your neighbors. Be mindful. And make sure it's around 10 feet away from your house. Do not start it in the garage. Do not start it next to it. Don't have it facing towards your house, because a lot of people die of carbon dioxide poisoning. A lot of people do. So, and no problem. Today's going to be a wrap of the video. Until next time, see you guys tomorrow.